Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Uh, like my background, it's really unique and creative, right? Um, we are going to be getting into some content that might affect some of us differently. And it's important to note that in our heads and also be sensitive to other people. Um, at one point or another, we've all experienced stress, of course, and anxiety. We are going to be learning about the differences between those and also the difference between anxiety and an anxiety disorder. We all experience anxiety at some way, shape, form. Some of us, and actually more than we think, have actually experienced greater anxiety that actually affects our everyday life. We are going to be getting into that stuff soon enough. Um, One thing I wanted to mention is that anxiety and stress comes differently to everybody. In the video that you guys saw talking about COVID and different coping mechanisms that we can use, does not mean that using those coping mechanisms are going to completely shut off or turn off our anxiety or our stress. It just helps us manage a little bit better. And it also helps to lower the physical feelings and reactions that we sometimes can get from feeling stressed, from feeling overwhelmed or anxious as well. Um, there are many people actually that need a little bit more help and a little bit more guidance with coping mechanisms and when it comes to anxiety. Sometimes anxiety can stop us right in our tracks. It can um, hinder us from being able to do the things that we love to do. And sometimes it's a great thing to get more help, whether that is taking medications temporarily or permanently, whether that's seeing somebody who's trained like a therapist or a psychologist for help in those matters. That does not mean it's a bad thing. It's actually a brave thing and an amazing thing to do. And it's okay, 100%. So, we're going to be talking more about these things. We are going to be talking more about different mental disorders as well as we move forward into this mental and emotional unit of mental and emotional health. It's also important to note that when people are going through anxiety and stress for a long period of time and it's starting to affect their everyday life, it is very, very important to mention that what's happening in that person's brain is a change in chemistry. The chemicals in your brain, the hormones literally change. There becomes a chemical and hormonal imbalance in the brain, which is completely not under that person's control. So it's very important to note that and to remember that. And we will be talking about that later on. But I did want to talk about that briefly and give you guys a little bit of an introduction for when we get into that moving forward very soon.